Hello, everybody. This is Bob Meisler, SBDM in Chicago for Azamara Cruises. And we're so excited today to be talking about an amazing group opportunity with Jules Cook and Modern Wealth Management, all put together through Cruise Holidays of Kansas City, and a great opportunity to sail to Canada and New England. Perfect time of year in October of 2025. So I wanted to welcome you to today's broadcast, where we will be covering a little bit about Azamara as a brand. If you've not heard of us, this is a great opportunity to learn more about us. And we're also going to walk through the itinerary itself. This is an amazing 12-night stay. And I'm so excited that we're doing this, or 12-night voyage. I'm so excited that we're doing Canada and New England again. It's something we kind of brought back. And I'm so excited to be doing it because, first of all, it's close to home. And second of all, it's a beautiful part of the world that, even though we're so close to it, sometimes we miss it. Very comprehensive view of Canada and New England. Really, really happy to be here to talk about it today. As mentioned, my name is Bob Meisler. I've been with Azamara now since 2015, representing the Upper Midwest. We're going to talk about this wonderful group experience with Jules Cook, headed to Canada and New England. Now, as we get started talking about Azamara today, one thing that I really wanted you to take note of is this photo. So I took this photo 2 months ago in the south of Spain in a city called Malaga, one of my favorite cities. It was my first time there and it became one of my favorites immediately. One of the best markets in Europe that I've been to. And just a wonderful experience. But the reason I want you to pay attention to this photo is where I'm located right now, taking a picture of Azamara Pursuit, one of our 4 ships. It's literally where the center of town is. So if you were to look to my left right now, you would see the entrance to the middle of this city. Very walkable, but this gives you a great idea of our small ships and our docking location because of these small, tiny ships. That get you closer to city center. But I did want to start out by kind of answering some questions and talking about Azamara Cruises and who we are and why Azamara. This is a great shot of us in Oslo in Norway. And again, right next to the castle in Oslo, in a beautiful docking location in a great city. Now, when we think of Azamara as a brand, and again, I've been with Azamara now for 9 years, we have 4 of these ships that you see pictured here. So 4 ships, all of them are completely identical. So 4 ships that hold 690 passengers only. That's max capacity, 690. 2 sets of elevators. You can be anywhere on the ship in 5 minutes. And when you look at this picture, think of everything entertainment related would be at the front of the ship, and everything food related and cuisine related would be in the rear of the ship. Something for everybody on board, and we're going to talk about that today. But we have a high repeat factor. Our guests are fiercely loyal to us because of a couple of big things. Number one, it's a small ship experience, and we get to ports the big ships simply can't get to. We'll talk about that today. Also, we stay longer in port than any of other cruise line. Think of us as a land company that just happens to be on an ocean liner, where you unpack once, you wake up every morning and you're in a different port. So it's a small ship that get to the big or to the ports the big ships can't get to. We stay longer in port and we overnight more than any other cruise line because we're so culturally focused, and we have wonderful cultural items that we do called Amazing Evenings, etc. And we'll talk about that today. But that's just a glimpse of our top pillars of strength. To that, I would add other things like entertainment, like our cuisine on board. But these are our primary focuses. And we also pack a lot of value as a cruise line as well. So it's a variety of dining venues that's always included, including room service, from casual to elegant, these dining options. All of your drinks, including spirits, beers, wines, coffees, teas, bottled water, available all day and all night long, not just at mealtime. Your tips and gratuities are taken care of. Now, what does that mean to you as a traveler? That means that you're not going into your pocket for your key card every time you want to get something, because that becomes a hassle quick. And we take that hassle away by including so many things. So basically, you only need your key card to get into your room and to get on and off the ship. So we have those cultural events that we include called Oz Amazing Evenings. We'll talk about that. And always expected on board as well. You don't have the lines, you don't have the crowds, you don't have the queues. Getting on and off the ship is a breeze. And it's unique and iconic destinations worldwide, including those late night stays and extended time in port. So first of all, let's talk about late nights and overnights. We want you to spend more time in port. And in fact, our guests, when they sail with us on, say, for instance, they're going to Sorrento, they're going to Valencia, Spain, they're going to Gibraltar, etc. They want every waking moment in port. And this Canada-New England voyage that we're going to talk about today is no exception. You want to enjoy the time in port and get to know these towns and these cities and these islands that you're going to be visiting. So Azamara gives you the time to unwind, just relax and slow down. And it's really about our heart and soul and our crew as well. So our guests, this is one common denominator. They come back and they say, I want to sail with Captain Johannes again. And in fact, that's a photo right there of Captain Johannes, who is on Azamara Quest, which you'll be sailing. Now, I can't say if he's going to be on board during this voyage or not, but he is captain of the Quest, and he's a rock star. Our guests love our crew, and our crew love our guests, and remember their names. They'll remember what you like to drink, where you like to sit, if you have any dietary restrictions. They'll get to know you as family and vice versa. They're all very, very visible and genuine. You're going to be pampered on the ship. I love Azamara. Even after 9 years, every time I walk on the ship and I'm greeted with a glass of champagne, I feel like a kid in a candy store. And I know what I'm in for, because there's so many places to unwind and relax on board. This is a voyage that you are going to want to spend a lot of time in the middle picture here in the living room. So that photo does not do it justice. This is up on deck 10 in front of the ship. Wide sweeping views on both sides of the ship and forward. So a great location to sit as you're pulling into port, as you're leaving, have a cocktail during the evening, have your coffee in the morning, lots of seating, living room environment, evening tapas that are complimentary, and this is where it gets fun at night with dancing and live music, etc. The Cabaret Lounge is also fantastic. This is our showroom. This is where you're going to see entertainment every single night. Could be Broadway reviews, dancing, singing, etc. So the Cabaret Lounge, fantastic for live entertainment. The Den is midship, wonderful place to relax, a little live entertainment, music, and a wonderful bar as well. And again, remember those spirits, beers, wines, coffees, teas, they're available all day long and included all day long, not just at mealtime. Unwind in style and relax with that perfect martini. And in fact, I took that picture of my martini on the right 2 months ago in Spain, in the lounge at Prime C, which is our steakhouse. Love those martinis. Indulge in personalized comfort. Staterooms. Your staterooms are comfortable. They're well appointed. The beds are absolutely amazing. And again, this is your home away from home during your voyage. And again, remember, you're just unpacking once. Casual dining, this is where it gets very important, right? Because I think a lot of us love to go on cruises and love to take these journeys to experience the dining and the cuisine on board. I have had travel advisors and people who I work with and guests come back to me and say, your cuisine is number one at sea. And even better than some cruise lines that really hype up their culinary product. And I happen to agree, and I know my way around a table. But Mosaic Cafe is going to be your coffee house, your place to grab your coffee before you head into town, your specialty coffee. My favorite is the Cafe Americano. Get one of those, head into port, and enjoy. And remember, on this voyage, you're going to be in Canada and New England in October. So maybe it's a hot chocolate that you get before you head out. Evening opportunity for an evening coffee, maybe high tea during the afternoon, light snacks, pastries, etc. Windows Cafe has indoor and outdoor dining. That is breakfast, lunch, and dinner, and that is our buffet restaurant that we have different themes during the evening. So you can expect some local cuisine as well. The patio, very casual during lunch. It's out by the pool. Great place to grab a burger, or maybe a brat, and be able to relax there as well. But it comes alive at night for outdoor dining during the evening. Now, world-class cuisine on board is where it's at for me. Our main dining room is on the left. That's called Discoveries. That is elegant, but remember, we're not pretentious. Our guests have been there, they've done that. They've worn ties and suits and things like that. They want to relax. Country club casual, smart casual, everywhere on board. We don't have formal nights. So if you don't want to get all dressed up, you don't have to. But if you want to get all dressed up, you won't feel out of place. Discovery is our main dining room. Menu changes nightly. And it's amazing the selection of different entrees, appetizers, soups, and salads, desserts that we have every single night that rotate. And we don't have seating times, which I love because you can come as you'd like. You can come when you're ready to dine. It's like a restaurant, but at sea. So we don't have seating times. Come as you'd like. The number one popular dish in Discoveries, escargot, by far. Prime Sea and Aquilina, now these are not included in the fare unless you're in a suite. These are specialty dining restaurants with a very minimal cover charge. But Prime Sea is our steakhouse and Aquilina is our upscale Mediterranean restaurant. I highly recommend on this group voyage with Jules that you go ahead and that you at least enjoy one night in each. It's well worth it. The steakhouse Prime Sea I would put up against my here in Chicagoland, Gibson's, Morton's, etc. It's my favorite place on the ship. So I wanted to show some personal photos. These are photos that I took on that voyage a couple of months ago. And I think some of them were from my France adventure last year, but this gives you an idea of the cuisine on board. And yes, I'm that guy that whips out the phone as soon as the food is put in front of me, so I can share it with my friends on social media. Yes, you'll see the escargot in the middle is missing one because I got a little too excited before I could take the picture. But this just gives you an idea of the cuisine at sea. And remember, it's not all fancy as well because you have casual dining options as well. And again, something for everybody. And of course, entertainment, wellness, great fitness center, walking track outside above the pool, world-class spa, and great entertainment on board. Now, earlier, I talked about these Oz Amazing Evenings. We do this once per voyage. It's complimentary for everybody on board, and it's our way of introducing the local cultures to our guests through music, dance, the arts, etc. So whether it be Montevideo in Uruguay, or Ephesus in Turkey, or Barcelona, Livorno, Bordeaux, you name it. We do this once per voyage. The picture you see here is Tito Square in Koper, Slovenia. We have this amazing show that the locals put on, and it's always fun. So you will have one of these Amazing evenings on the group voyage. I'm not sure which one it's going to be, but more information to come on that. And then, of course, bring your white clothes, because once per voyage, we have a white night party under the stars in a certain port, live band playing, music, dancing, cocktails are flowing, and a great dinner underneath the stars. So bring your white clothes. Okay, now we're going to transition. Let me do a time check here. We're right on time. We're moving along. Let's go ahead and talk about this amazing group opportunity, October 5th, 2025 on Azamara Quest. And as said, I'm so excited that we're bringing back some Canada and New England, which I think is super exciting for us because, again, it's closer to home and it just has so much to offer. I look at the information and I look at this itinerary and I think this is something I really want to do, because most of my presentations I'm talking about, boy, Greece, I'm talking about Japan, I'm talking about New Zealand, India, South Africa, etc. But what a treat it is to talk about something right in our backyard. Shorter flights close to home and amazing scenery. You're going to even see fjords on this trip, which is amazing. So here it is, 5th of October of 2025 on Quest. And here is the basic itinerary that we're going to be following from New York to Montreal, and we do have a sea day in there as well. Now, this is a very busy schedule, so you are going to need that sea day on the 14th of October to relax and have a day where you treat yourself to relaxation, sleeping in, etc. So let's jump into it by taking a look at the map. So we do start in New York City. So what a great opportunity to be able to just fly to New York and be able to get onto Azamara Quest, go up through the Cape Cod Canal, see Boston, go up to Bar Harbor, Acadia National Park area, etc. We go over to New Brunswick, then we go to Nova Scotia. The Halifax is the largest city in the east coast of Canada. We're going to do some Nova Scotia. We're going to go up to Cap Omula, and Cap Omula is absolutely gorgeous as well. Now we're getting into some, you're getting into some different types of areas. Beautiful scenery, of course, as we then get into the St. Lawrence Seaway, and we will be going into the Saguenay Fjord as well, which is a long fjord, beautiful scenery. Saguenay, Quebec, as well, Quebec City, and then Montreal. So we're covering a lot of ground in those 12 days. But remember, flights into New York, flights out of Montreal, close to home, and it's all hosted by Jules Cook. So we will be starting in New York City. I don't need to go into much about New York other than that it is the Big Apple. And if you've never been to New York, go in a little bit early and see the city. It is amazing and it's worth checking out. So we do start in New York City, and then this is where we're going to be heading up, and we're going to start our journey to the north and to the east, and we head to Newport, Rhode Island. So again, you don't have a language barrier, which is nice. And what I do here is I like to show at the bottom some featured shore excursions that we do. Scenic Newport, which is more of just kind of a driving and a walking tour, a visit to an oyster farm, land and sea adventure of Newport. And remember, all shore excursions are going to be at a cost, but we leave it completely up to you because we have different types of shore excursions in different ports that we visit to give you an opportunity, should you like to take one of our shore excursions, to give you some choice and to let you choose which ones suit your needs. Of course, I would be all over that oyster farm. I love oysters, love lobster, and Rhode Island starting this, and then when we head to the north, is perfect in my book. And think about when you head up to Maine on this. I would be looking forward to that seafood in Maine. We are going to be we're going to be going through the Cape Cod Canal, which is nice to be able to head to the other side of the Cape Cod Canal as we head to Boston, another fantastic world-class city. If this is not something you've done, it's definitely something that's worth checking out. And walking the old city, very historic. We have a shore excursion where you can walk a guided tour of the Freedom Trail. Lots of history, or maybe a shore excursion up to Salem to see the Salem witch history, Boston highlights. It's a great food town, a great shopping town, lots of great sites in Boston. Now we're getting up into the Acadia National Park area, and the panoramic drives here in this area are absolutely stunning. Bar Harbor is one of those towns that you have all of your antique shops, you have all of your shopping, you have great cafes, great food, great beer scene. You're going to find that on this, especially once we get up into Canada, like Prince Edward Island, etc. It's Nova Scotia, etc. Big beer scene in all of these towns, a growing in popularity, with some great shore excursions here in Maine as well. Now, as I said, we're still on the move now. Now we're going to keep on rolling. We head to New Brunswick, which is St. John. It's the third largest port in Canada in terms of tonnage, believe it or not. So St. John, New Brunswick, it's the third largest port by tonnage. And here's the other thing too. It was the first incorporated city in Canada. So on the east coast of Canada, you're getting, just like you had in the United States with Boston and New York, etc., you're getting that history, but on a Canadian perspective, when you're there. So the first incorporated city in Canada was St. John, New Brunswick. Now we're going to continue with Halifax. Did you know the name that the Halifax people go by? What do they call themselves? So in Halifax, they're referred to as Haligonians in Halifax. And it's, again, the largest city on Canada's east coast, a wonderful city and wonderful shore excursions as well. And we even have a wine experience here as well. And Peggy's Cove, I see you can see it at the bottom, is a featured shore excursion. Peggy's Cove is always a crowd pleaser. It's just one of those places that's always highly requested to see. Kind of like when we're in Prince Edward Island, Anne of Green Gables, etc. Now we're still in Nova Scotia, so now we're going to head up the coast, and this is where the Cabot Trail is. The Alexander Graham Bell Museum here as well. Beautiful area, very rugged, and you're at such a great time of year as well. It's early October. What a wonderful time to be doing this. We're in Sydney until 7 p.m. Now we head to Charlottetown and Prince Edward Island. And again, I mentioned about Anne of Green Gables, but another thing that Prince Edward Island is known for, they're known for their sheep, but they're known for mussels. So whenever you go somewhere and you see on the menu PEI mussels, it's referring to Prince Edward Island. Charlottetown is the birthplace of Confederation, and wonderful, beautiful area. And it is lots of scenic drives. Again, you're going to see each of these ports of call have their different charms. We're going to leave it up to you to find your favorite. Kapamula. So Kapamula, means, how do you translate it? It means like millstone, like a millstone, mula. But this is in these beautiful islands, shipwrecks, lots of wood, and lots of great shopping here as well. Great food again. And again, you're getting lots of different places that you're visiting that you can kind of cross off your list. Now, as mentioned, you are going to need a sea day. You've been doing a lot of touring. You've been eating a lot of great seafood. You've been exploring. You've been seeing majestic landscapes, winding drives, etc. This is a day to take care of yourself. Maybe sleep in or maybe not sleep in. Go up to the living room, play cards, relax, take care of yourself, book a spa excursion for yourself. Read, go up to the library and get a book and read. This is your day to relax. I always love doing either Prime Sea or Aquilina the night of a sea day. It's always the perfect ending to a perfect relaxing day. Saguenay Fjords in Canada, it's a fjord. We're going to be going through these fjords in the morning. So I don't know if anybody on has been to Kotor, Montenegro. Kotor is surrounded by fjords. These fjords, just like that, they can't be beat. This is not a morning that you want to sleep in. This is a morning where you're going to want to be either on your veranda, you're going to want to be up top, like the walking track area, or maybe sitting in the living room, watching this beautiful scenic drive in October through the Saguenay Fjords to get to Saguenay, where we're going to be heading to in Quebec. It's right on the St. Lawrence Seaway. It's where kind of the land and water meet, and we have some amazing shore excursions, especially another wine tasting. Maybe that's something you'd like to do. But look at this picture, quintessential Quebec. Beautiful stop in Saguenay. And we're there until 9 p.m. Another great thing. So what does that mean to you? Like, okay, you're there late. Well, you don't have to rush. You've got all the time in the world, and you're going to be so well fed on Azamara. But maybe that's a night, like a late night. Maybe that's a night where we have a white night, or maybe it's the Amazing evening, or maybe it's an evening that you want to go into town and have dinner on your own to get a taste of the local flavors. Then we head to one of the most beautiful cities in the world with the most photographed hotel right here. And we're there until 10 o'clock. This is Quebec City, founded in the early 1600s, very romantic. You're as close to France as you can get now without actually going to France. So I would highly recommend take that day to get off the ship and explore Quebec City. It's worth it. And then, of course, we end in Montreal. What a wonderful ending in a beautiful city to be able to maybe go and check out Montreal and little France, little Paris, etc., and enjoy reminiscing about this amazing 12 nights at sea. So that is the 12-night Canada New England voyage on Azamara Quest, sail with Jules Cook. This is October 5th, 2025. And please, for pricing and for more information, reach out to my good friend, Andrea Redding at Cruise Holidays of Kansas City. There's the phone number, and there's Andrea's email address. She will take amazing care of you. She is a rock star. And of course, we love our friends at Cruise Holidays in Kansas City. Wonderful organization, full of experts, and they take such good care of all of our guests. So I'd like to thank you for learning more about this wonderful group opportunity. Please reach out to Andrea. I'm going to go back to this and keep this up just another 20 seconds or so. 816-741-7417, as for Andrea Redding, and there's the email as well. This will sell out quickly. I have other groups that are doing this voyage, and we have a couple more of these, but very limited. But this is one that is going to sell out. So we highly recommend reaching out to Andrea as quickly as possible. Thank you so much for letting me talk about Azamara and this wonderful group opportunity with Jules. And we'll look forward to welcoming you on board Azamara Quest. Go out and have an amazing day.